That's right.
It's just the story.
That's right. Now, Grant, I know we haven't started the show yet, but so your boy the other day calls me up and he was like hype about the fact that, if the Democrats are able to pull this off and somehow the American public stuns everybody and elects a black woman president, he
Mm-hmm.
said homecoming next year will be hype as hell. And he is looking forward to being on the yard. Will
Listen,
you be joining the brother?
absolutely. But let me tell you. So here it is. You want to hear it? Here it go. Welcome to what is probably I don't know. Let's just make it the 5th episode of Born in Trouble. And I'm your host, John S. Back from the dead. Now you're in trouble. You done did it, motherfuckers. How y'all feeling today, Mr. City Ring King, Great Lancaster?
It's a beautiful day. What up, though?
What up, though? Just getting in there, of course. Mr. Brooks with the good looks, Rob Brooks.
What it is, I screwed up. I didn't go to the Mecca. So you guys are partying in the yard next year because Kamala got voted in. I'll be looking from afar.
You're talking about about Howard University, the traditionally black school.
Yes, indeed.
But Kamala isn't black, is she? Grant, is she black?
Well, the purposes of this exercise, she will be.
Right.
Does it matter?
I agree with that.
Does it really matter?
Does it matter if she's black?
Yeah. Does it matter? I mean, look.
Well, we slipped Obama in. So, I mean, maybe it doesn't matter.
I mean, I was thinking very simply, it was like pretty quick thought process to me. Nobody's asking how black Trump is, where his lines go. And we know he goes back, his grandfather, we've got pictures of him in the KKK robes. So that's his relationship to blackness. Are we, but we're mad at Kamala because even if she isn't what some people deem to be black, she went to Howard. She's a part of the diaspora. Like, this whole kind of conversation is like it shows like I really realized how much the black community in the United States of America has been infiltrated by others and different mindsets. Because we're arguing over, first of all, I mean, is black a race or is black a color?
Well, because we all got treated the same way, we became a race. But really, it's just the color. It's just an accident of pigment.
Right.
A groovy accident, but an accident nonetheless.
Hey, black is beautiful, baby. We are riding all of these lovely like black phrases. We are very proud to be who we are. No wonder Kamala, even if she doesn't fit the description of what some people, no wonder why she would meld into that beautiful mosaic that is the diaspora. But it kind of made me think about how we have been infiltrated and how these arguments about black and, who is black and who isn't black, it's all part of the diaspora. Even Drake, was a part of
Jesus. Why are people still talking about Drake?
These cats are like.
Does everybody remember he's just a rapper?
No, they don't. They don't. Somebody on that cesspool that's Twitter today said something about Drake. They said they compared Kamala to Drake. They said we're gonna let them get away with passing off Kamala as black the same way we let Drake get away with it. And I'm like, bitch,
y'all have seen Drake's daddy
rapper with
Drake's daddy. Drake might be blacker than me, goddamn. His pimp old ass at daddy. Like, come on now.
Well, it's a diaspora. It's not a consensus. You know what I'm saying? It isn't like either or. It is a diaspora. But I see what I see is like people that are utilizing even like writing into the term of blackness per se and using it as like kind of like a throwaway term, like you would any of them 100 different terms that we've had over the years. It's just
Well, I'll put it to you this way. I went to Indianapolis on Tuesday, and unbeknownst to me, the Zeta conference was down there, Zeta convention or whatever. Those thousands of black women that were down there, they embraced Kamala when she got down. They embraced her like never before.
right.
So her blackness ain't in question in the black community. Let's put it
Nah,
that.
nah,
Indeed.
definitely not in the educated black community.
I was hesitant to say that, but you are correct. The educated black community,
Yeah.
Right.
you know. But then there are some
But
other educated folks who also are preaching the other thing. You know, there's some folks who are into their separatist holes, and you know,
Well, isn't this always reminiscent of the black community though? Because it's like really this is an opportunity to really like talk about these divisions that we have within our community and bring them together, you know, in a healthy way. And one of the things that I thought about when I was down in Washington, D.C. And I think I told you this, Rob, you know, when we were on a bus one day. It was me and a couple of other brothers, and this woman on the bus was like, why don't you boys just we didn't do nothing to her, nobody said anything to her, you know, we were very polite gentlemen and all that. Why don't you boys just go back to your city with your high flute and stuff? Why do you come over into our neighborhood? Why are
yeah,
you always like involved in it? Why are you here and everything?
yeah,
Why do you exist? So there's always going to be there's always that division between you think you're smart and this is our hood. But
doesn't that
is it really time to like, you know, get rid of that crap that here?
doesn't doesn't that division exist in every nationality and race?
It
You know what I mean?
does.
Like it right. So that's like I never understand why I know why we always talk about black folks because we black folks. But I don't understand why, you know what I mean? Like it's always on blast everywhere. Black people kill black people, white people kill white people, Spanish kill Spanish. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
uneducated is always at odds with educated. You know what I mean? Regardless to the race. You know what I mean? It's always the same. So don't make the spectacle. Don't make black people the spectacle for something that everybody does.
Mhm. But that's exactly what they're doing though. You know, it just occurred to me that I like on that cesspool that they call Twitter, you've got all these people that are saying like they come out and they make these statements like more black people are turning over to the Trump party and all my black friends are talking bad about me and everything. Nah, nobody's talking about you. No, nobody give a fuck about what your fucking stupid ass does. This is the black community. This is the white community. See, this is what happens when you close places down like Black Planet and there's no place online for black people to express themselves just as themselves. But
But
what happens is everybody thinks that they have a right to have a voice in your conversation because you're on their platform. And that's not necessarily true.
but who are these black people that are saying whatever Twitter is saying that they're saying? You know what I mean? Just because it's on Twitter don't mean that it's actually that don't make it a fact.
Right. But this is part of the marketing. This is the
Oh yeah.
Russian bot machine. This is the Russian bot machine targeted at poor inner city, ghetto, black people. This is the way, and this is their descriptions. They, you know, me, it's just my people, you know, but for them, this is who they're targeting. They're targeting those that they feel are weak. It's not about,
I agree. I agree.
to me, it's not about Kamala, you know, it's not. It's not.
What's not about her?
The whole race thing, it's still about not electing Donald Trump. You know, if I had a choice of a different candidate, yeah, I'd take a different candidate. But, you know, she fits enough boxes. and I'm going to support her all the way because the option is terrible. The other option is terrible. To me, it's like if you really want it, if you want me to vote against Kamala Harris, then put up somebody that's better than her.
And they believe they have.
Right.
Yeah.
They
But
believe they have.
But don't tell me, that because that's really just the difference of opinion. This country, it's like I didn't walk outside this morning. Rob, how did you put out the burning car fires in front of your house this morning when you woke up?
I slept through it and let some other people take care of that. Oh, wait a minute. There were no car fires. The world isn't a burning hellscape as Donald Trump says that it is.
Right. So I'm saying, Grant, are you overworked? Is the reason why you haven't been here because you've been putting out fires all around that cesspool city of yours, Detroit?
I am always overworked, but I don't put out fires anymore.
Okay.
So my overwork has nothing to do with the fires that are not existing in Detroit right now.
Okay. And big up in respect to the city of Detroit. That's not my term. That's not my terminology. These are cities that have been described as cesspools. This is what we're up against. Look. So Kamala kept some people like locked up a little bit longer. That was one of their talking points I saw yesterday. And really, like for me, I understand the law and order thing because I'm a pragmatist. Okay. If you do the crime, you got to do the time. It's fucked up, but that's just the way it is and everything. You do the crime, you have to do the time. And I do think it's messed up that they kept some of those criminals, or I won't say criminals, some of those convicts locked up so that way they could fight fires in the state of California. Because that's what they rely on a lot in the state of California to fight those fires. And you're familiar with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're
Yep.
familiar with, right?
Yeah.
It's wrong to hold them back, but do you think for the public good, is that a decision? That's like one of those hard decisions you have to make. You have the labor you have the people and the expertise to actually get it done. My whole problem with it is this. They have these laws in California that doesn't allow these men, once they get out of jail, to use their firefighting skills and become firemen.
Sure. So, but are they classically trained as, like, are they truly trained as firefighters, or are they just kind of given a crash course and then
Helping out
bringing up
around the
anything?
edges, like,
Yeah.
hey, we need support 50 yards back,
Right.
100 yards
Yeah.
back.
And I'm saying that clearly I don't know. Right. I'm just asking the question.
Well,
But the problem is that the 13th Amendment allows it. And so to not use in a time, the precedent is, and at the moment that you want to get quote unquote woke and start looking at, okay, how are we treating people? Is what we're doing, is what we have been doing for the last 50, 75, 100 years ethical? Then you're butting heads with people. Then you got to get rammy.
right. My biggest problem is that the lack of compensation that they gave those guys. And, from things that I've
Once
read.
again, constitutionally permitted.
Yeah.
You're a convict. You can be treated. You can be
They get
subject to
$2 a
slave
day.
labor.
Don't you feel like, though, they should have the opportunity to become firefighters when they get out of prison? A lot of these guys have fought a lot of fires in the state of
Well, I mean,
California.
if they're properly trained and that's something they want to get into, then absolutely they should be allowed to do it. But once again,
Right.
that's not, at no point has prison been about rehabilitating or getting people back into society. It's about punishment. It's about profit.
Right.
So,
And firefighting is a civil service job. So if you're a felon, you can't get it.
Right.
So I don't care how many fires they put out. Once they get out of jail, they are a felon. So there is no opportunity for them to get on a civil service job.
So you would have you personally, would you have a problem with someone who is a felon working on the Detroit Fire Department. You know.
So I'll put it to you this: it depends on what they did,
Okay.
because I'm more concerned about the character of the person than whether or not they have a record.
If there's anything with murder, anything with abuse, things like that, I would you say that should be a disqualifier?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, it depends. I mean, there's a lot of trust that people just put into like emergency service. So you expect a certain decorum, you expect a certain amount of honesty, you expect certain things from a fireman, from a policeman, from an EMS tech. So every fire that's a fire, every fire is not, what you see on Chicago fire. Some fires are just in a kitchen, but the people are outside of their house. Now, let's say it's Christmas time, it's gifts under the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Something comes up missing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now you have a problem. Well, if you have this felon out here, then that's gonna put a black eye on the department. And I mean, if let's say that guy was there, then automatically it's gonna be a problem. You know what I mean? So I think bringing felons into any kind of emergency services where that trust is kind of implied could be a problem.
Rob, would you have a problem as a tax-paying citizen paying for someone to rehabilitate himself in that way and join the New Jersey Fire Department, for example?
I mean, the thing that Grant said is it's largely a character issue, and unfortunately, for the most part, our prison system does not do a really good job of building character in people. So I mean, it's touchy because that is a job that involves a lot of trust. Like they got to trust each other. The public has to be able to be confident in them. Like you probably have to create a buffer path for them to prove that they are who they now say they are before they get the full privileges of that gig.
What you guys are essentially saying is that you want your firefighters to be good guys.
And the crazy part is, growing up where we grew up, we know that essentially they're dudes.
Right.
A lot of them are dudes.
They are. But I mean, just on the felon tip, I mean, like if you were like a weed conviction, come on, man. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to me, it's just kind of the degree of why they were in prison. And I'm saying this knowing full well that a lot of this shit that people are in prison for is, it ain't really what it is.
Right.
So,
well, we've got that cop now, the one that shot Sonia Massey. He's going to be in jail now for a little bit. Trump gets elected. Does he get pardoned?
Yeah, he's gonna pardon himself. Can he do that?
No, I'm talking about the boiling water shooter.
Oh, you saying will Trump pardon him?
With Trump,
not right away. No,
not right away.
No.
I think
that would be like if he were to do something like that, you'd have to immediately get folks together and be like, okay, clearly he thinks he's dictator for life.
Right. Once he's in there, he's not trying to come out. He's not trying to come out. He's trying to be dictator for life.
We all feel that, but until he proves it, and that would be one way to prove it.
He's gonna try to prove it. He would try to prove it.
Well, he ain't as unhealthy as he is. Who knows how much longer life is going to be? And his handlers tried to scare I'm trying to decide whether his handlers decided to scare the crap out of him or whether they just needed to stir the pot and, sort of give America a reason to vote for him.
What do you mean, the shooting?
Yes, the shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure that he was meant to be hit ever.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Admittedly, I don't know a lot about the Secret Service.
Mm-hmm.
But what I know is if the president gets shot at, There's no way that an 86-year-old man is gonna fight his way up through the Secret Service agents that are supposed to keep him down.
Right.
No 86-year-old man is gonna fight through that and get a fist up in the air like motherfucking Tommy Smith.
First of all, right.
Yeah.
Right. That's exactly what I said, Grant. I said cultural appropriation right there.
Yeah.
First cultural
Yeah.
appropriation. Just to get like power for us. Like, you know, I'm back, brothers. Brothers, vote for me. Vote for Trump. I just dodged the bullet. I'm a felon.
Yeah, I'm just like you.
Blood on my. I got
Hey,
blood on
he didn't
my
remember. He's saying he took a bullet for you. I took a
Right.
bullet for you. I'm not
Right.
saying he took a bullet. There ain't no evidence that he done took a bullet.
Bro, they showed the picture of him wearing a hat. There's no damage to that ear. It's not
Yeah.
even, no.
He's too stupid to even remember to act out the full scene.
But he was wearing a bandage on the wrong ear.
But this
Dude walked into like a hall full of people, Republicans, and these motherfuckers had a bandage on the wrong ear.
you watching a TV show, B?
We literally are. Like, you know, we're not really having a conversation as to whether or not the shit is real or not. Are we having a, is that the conversation that we're having? Because I don't think
Well, I mean, it's real in that something happened. It's just, is it real in what they tell? Is it the same thing that they're telling us that happened? That's what's in doubt.
I mean, like any of this shit. This shit is like crazy. You heard
I
it.
think it's real. I think it's real in that there's a certain amount of people that believe it's real. You know what I mean? Like it's you know, psychosomatic, let's say. They
Shots
believe
ring
it,
out
so it's
and-
happening.
Shots ring out and nobody runs.
Nobody.
Nobody. They ain't one person was censored that group.
Yeah.
Like, you know where the target is. Nobody tried to get away from him.
Wow.
Nope.
You know, they proved,
How does that happen?
you know, there's so many different incidents that you can pull up that are similar. Las Vegas wasn't like that, though. They were trying to get away in Las Vegas. This isn't
Oh yeah.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, this was something different. In Las Vegas, they showed all those different shooters on all those different levels and everything. But that's another story. That's like that's on a conspiracy theory blog, podcast someplace out there, and it'll make you just send shivers up your spine. It's the way to do it. But it's not like, you know, are they really trying to get me to believe that these like false flags are anything other than like false flags? How the fuck does he get up there? You know, it's, you know, to me, the way I look at it is, like you said, Grant, I don't know anything about the Secret Service. I don't know nothing about them, how they get there, what they do. You know, I think the director is probably one of theirs. She took the hit. You know what I'm saying? If you're rooting to somebody, you know, you're not going to take this, like, you know, kid who's been to a couple of rifle ranges and everything. He's not a threat to hit someone at that range, everything, and especially not the president. And how the fuck you get up there? You know, and they're not watching, they're not paying attention. If you don't help, they just say, oh, we just turn our back.
They said he got him 8 shots, right?
Huh?
He got him 8 shots, right? Which isn't hard. So we know where 2 of the bullets went. Where are the other 6?
It's a good question. They didn't talk about where they found them.
Where are the other 6? Like, where, you know, there should have been, with that rifle, there should have been like puffs. Anything that got hit with that rifle at that range should have been puffs of smoke, like,
Right.
you know, the thing itself blowing up.
Right.
We got no video of the rest of them impacting any. Nothing.
He missed.
He
missed
but
everything.
he missed everything.
Yeah, he missed
Like,
everything.
Was he firing in the air?
Essentially.
They're just way too much. The more you talk about it, the more the thing stinks. The more the thing is like, really?
But it worked though. It got everybody. It got them all riled up. You know, it gave the base a superhero type of like feeling. Like you said, he was manly enough It's like there was no kryptonite in the pockets of those Secret Service men. Cold super, and he was coming up with that black fist. Will appropriate, and that's Tommy Smith. Those brothers paid consequences for that black fist. Are you gonna say something to them now? I don't think so. I don't think so, bro. This guy, he went from, but I mean, it was a tough week for him. He went from calling somebody the oldest candidate to ever run for president to being the oldest candidate to ever run for president.
Means nothing to him. Means something to his
Right.
people because they invested in the slogan. But yeah, he's
So what does mean something to him? Money?
to some degree, yes, staying out of jail.
Okay.
You know, his image, his prestige.
Yeah.
Okay.
Power. Power.
Yeah, power.
He got JD Vance to be his vice president. You know, that's a
That
power.
guy's a little bit of a shit show.
What, JD Vance?
Yeah.
Well, you know, he basically, you talk about, you know, someone having no record. Like, all they're doing is talking bad about Kamala and everything, which is like, you got to let them get it out of their system. You know, by the time they say it the like second time, it's like, when you say it the first time, it's crass. When you keep saying it, it's just like, you don't make yourself look good. You know, it's like, you're not
But
going
their
to,
people don't care. Like that's become the thing. Like people like you to be a little bit rude. They like you to say it like it really is. Like not speak like a politician. That group, you know, they dislike the educated, so they want you to speak in a more common way.
I think it's going to
So I
be,
mean, that's great for his base.
I think it's going to be an interesting couple of months to see the effect of this rhetoric on the public, you know, at all, because, you know, many little girls are going to hear their daddies calling a woman a hoe.
Yeah, but they've been hearing that for the last however long they've been alive.
More so than ever.
You
Is this
know,
going
that ain't new.
to create more hoes in the next
Yeah,
10
well,
years?
well, you need hoes to grab by the pussy, right?
Mm.
You,
If it wasn't for hoes, what would I have done on Saturday nights back in high school? Come on now. Let's not talk down on my people.
But those are select hoes. That's like, you know, that's like the Olympians right now that are over there in France playing. That's
I'm not sure if they were select hoes. They were the hoes that said yes.
well,
that's
yeah.
what's selected.
You were doing your own politicking back then. Kamala ain't got nothing on you. And that's what they've been saying. I mean, look, supposedly Willie Brown came out today and made a statement about, yes, I did give Kamala jobs because she was my girlfriend and she slept with me and everything. Like, what's the point of all these like dudes like coming out and just telling these tales and everything? Like, what's their, is they really like, is that really masculinity? I don't know about toxic. Is that really masculinity per se?
And these days, you got to get out in front of it because you don't want it to come out on the back end. If it comes out on the back end, then it's a Me Too moment. So you got to hop out in front of it.
I think he's just. I mean, he's pretty much kept his mouth shut. I mean, they've been talking about that when she ran the first time.
Right.
And when she was going to run for president, that was a lot of the story was about her relationship with Willie Brown.
Mhm.
But you know, that ain't gonna get real traction. Dude's gonna say what they're gonna say. I saw one of the Democrats said, "Okay, we're gonna talk about Kamala's past," and pulled out the Playboy pictures of Melania.
Right.
Like that's the conversation. Let's get into it.
Let's really get into it. I don't mind going through looking at Melania's pictures again.
I got that. I got that issue in the mail.
I understand that what's his name might have a problem with it. Brother Umar, he might have a problem with us going over it, but guess what, Umar? It's getting done. And done. Fuck you, bro. Sorry.
Really? Why I got to be all that, Holmes?
Fuck you, bro. It's
Since
said
we
with
got a
love.
difference of
It's with
opinion,
love.
why I got to be F you?
It's said with love. It's said with love. You know what I'm saying? We're this is not some foundational, like, you know, conversation or argument or or chasm that we have in our community here. We are ultimately all at going after the same things. And some of us might say that's money, but that's another conversation.
The money shot.
It's a money shot, baby. It's a money shot. You know, my whole thing with the getting back to the firefighters for a second though, I didn't think it was such a bad decision to actually hold them over. You know, I think it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I think that maybe they could have paid them a little something on their way out the door for like doing extra service or
But
extra
they don't
time.
have to. Who gives money? Who pays money? They don't have to, Holmes.
No, that's true. Nah, you're right. You're right.
They
They're
made like
people without
$1.50
rights.
a
They're
day.
convicts, Holmes. They're not citizens. They're convicts.
Yeah, it gives you more reason to stay out of trouble, if possible.
In theory,
You know,
if
then there's a
possible.
lot of
One, if
people,
possible. You know, if enough brothers ain't acting up, they will create a way to make it seem like brothers been acting up so they can get the work done.
right? And that was my next point. That was my next point. Because like a lot of those brothers were held over, and they've been shafted, so they got shafted twice. You know,
Right.
and heat in California. You know, is that fair? I don't know.
I don't know what fair's got to do with it.
Yeah, life is not fair.
Bottom line with this, I think that there's a conversation to be had there about that, what happened in that situation. But is that a condemnation of the decision? I actually think the decision was a good one. I would have done the same fucking thing. You know, I'm sitting up here, I'm advocating for the brothers in jail right now. Understand that. I'm advocating for them to possibly be able to get jobs if their offense wasn't so bad, and to get money if you're held over and you're doing such a public service and saving millions of dollars in homes and real estate in the state of California. But at the same time, sorry, buddy, you got to stay there and fight the fire. You know what I'm saying? This is what life is. Life is a series of difficult questions that need sometimes difficult answers. And that's what you're voting for. And that to me, it's good enough. Honestly, it's good enough. It's good enough answer. Trump
Look,
he can't even hold two sentences together. He like runs off on a paragraph, then he goes off on another topic. It's like almost like me doing my show, except for he's worse. Just saying. Keeping it real.
He also exhibited the worst putting stroke I've ever seen for a guy who supposedly has all these club championships. He's the worst putter I've ever seen. Like, he's whacking at that thing. That's just embarrassing.
So the anti-golf crowd says no to Trump. I don't know if Kamala can swing a club, but
I don't know if she can either. I mean, the other thing that, you know, people who were harping on the Willie Brown thing, like, yo, let's just keep it real for a moment. She more than likely, even if they wasn't doing a thing, she's gonna benefit from pretty privilege. Folks are always gonna give her a leg up because
mhm.
who didn't want
They
to keep
want
her
a leg up.
around? Yeah.
and that's for her. Oh, it's like
There-
was for
somewhere in that, I don't know if Kamala can swing a club. There was a joke.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the joke was, but there was one in there somewhere.
Listen, I'm not mad at her. I'm not funny and everything. They went to listen. We went to this is our community.
Did you say
understand?
Bonnie?
We're loving people. Bonnie Willis. We are
Oh.
loving people. This is our collegiate community. We are loving people and everything. This is what we do. Ain't nobody mad at you for like, you know, how uptight are we? This is America. We're a country full of hoes.
Yeah, but
You
we
know,
are the most uptight country on the
Right.
planet too.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Have been
hoes?
since the very beginning.
We're a country of hoes. Dude, not Marjorie, that's like bad, that's Bad Bill Body. Who's the one that was at the theater? And
Yeah,
obviously
that's Marjorie Taylor
Republicans-
Greene.
Huh?
That's
Mar-
the same bad built butch body. Yes,
Yeah.
it's also
she
her.
was, nah, that's not her. She wasn't the one that was at the movie theater giving the guy the
Yeah, that was her.
No, that's the other one. There's another Boebert.
Oh, Lauren Boebert. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
It's
yeah,
Lauren
you're
Boebert.
right.
You see, but it's easy to get these hoes mixed up. It's just what it is.
See,
But
remember
you
earlier
said-
when
you
I
said-
remember earlier when I said, when you said, young women, whatever, we're going to be hearing their daddy calling women hoes, whatever, and I said they've already been hearing it.
Dude is grown. My dude is grown. We have these conversations. We're well past that time. And you know what? We had these real conversations. But what I'm saying is though, they're talking about her. A little while ago, they were saying that Lauren Boebert was like their dream chick. Come on. This is America.
She is their dream chick. She gives handos in theaters. Like, come on.
This is America. America fucks. Right? Right. That's one thing. Yeah.
in the dark. In the
Listen.
dark. That's what you missing that America's fucking is done in the dark, bro. We don't. Your wholeness is supposed to remain behind closed doors. It ain't supposed to be out in front.
And I don't know why, because we do it the best. Let's be honest. We
Well,
may
right.
lose in every other area in the entire world. We may lose in exporting, importing. We may lose in trade deficit numbers, oil production, water production. But when it comes to boning, USA, since Jerry Hart ran for president in 1980, we've been on one. It's what we do. Our preachers do it. Jerry Falwell and those guys. Who is it? Who was the one? Yeah, Falwell and Tammy Faye Baker and the Bakers. This is what America does. The Mormon guy that was taking over for his dad, Graham.
Oh yeah.
And everything. Who's now the head of the? Listen. America bones. Like what? Why?
Yeah,
are we
but-
holding-
But America judges too. America's very judgy.
Yes, when
Very
you get up
judgy.
and everything, and when you get up and you say like, "Baby, are you good?" That's where the judgment is. This other judgment don't really matter. I make a joke about this. I say this in jest and everything, but come on, look at the fascination that America has with sex. They literally, that same person, was it Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert, that put the diagram of Joe Biden's son's penis up in Congress.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What the fuck are y'all talking about? You do the worst things. You do the worst things. And listen, Donald Trump is a convicted felon. And he has to pay money for rape. Isn't he is he a convicted rapist?
He's
or
not a
is he
convicted. He's
civil?
a convicted sexual offender. I don't believe rape is not the term. Because it was a civil. It was got found on the civil side, didn't he? Not on the
Yeah.
like the felony stuff
It
is
was-
all the New York
It's
court.
civil. I think it's
Yeah.
civil. I think the other one is on the other thing. I don't want anybody to, but it's like, come on, B. He was paying a porn star.
Yeah, but why would they start caring about that now? Like we keep going on and on about all the bullshit that he's done, but the pragmatic question is, why do we think they're going to start to care now?
I'm not really trying to get them to care. I'm just really trying to get them to shut up about the same stuff that their people do. It's like,
But
nobody wants to hear their parents tell them to do something that they just got done seeing their parents do. It just doesn't, it's never going to work. We see you out here, putting your hands, running the popcorn tray.
But they're just trying to
from a
remind and
congressman.
convince their people why they should vote their way. Like this, look at this awful person that they've put up. Doesn't
not
really
about-
matter that their person is just as awful.
Rob, We we know it's not about any of that. It's all about race politics. It's all about race politics right now. That's what this is.
No, but I
Pretty
mean, look,
much.
but it was what you call it though. It is race politics, but 2 weeks ago it was age politics. Like it's all about them keeping their power. They really don't. Whoever they put up, Kamala could get dropped from the race tomorrow, and whoever they put up, believe me, they're going to come up with some BS about that person, and
I
they're
would
going to be
say
the worst human being ever.
I would say
It won't be the worst human being ever because that's reserved for black women, but they'll be
I
pretty
would
bad.
I would say it was age messaging, but it's always been race politics. Look, this guy JD Vance, right? He's done absolutely nothing, right? He's done nothing in his life. He's got one benefactor who is the sole reason why he is running for vice president. And that guy's name is Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel.
Mhm.
Peter Thiel made his money in PayPal, friend of Trump's. He
And
got this
Facebook,
guy and Facebook. Apparently, he got this guy
a
a
lot of other
job
places.
venture capital.
Mhm.
He got fired from that venture capital or split up with it. They don't say fired. Peter Thiel got him another job at another venture capital company. Didn't work out there. Then the third one, it didn't work out there. Then finally, he bankrolled a venture capital for JD Vance.
Mhm.
And that company is called Narian, or is Narian. It was something that it was Narin, and which is basically Aryan with the N in the front.
Mhm.
That company failed. Then he put $6 million or $15 million into his campaign, ran him for senator, and he won. And it was all based upon a book that he had written. So,
Hillbilly Elegy,
yeah. So,
which he tries to make himself seem like he came out of absolutely rose from the swamps, from the depths of dirt poverty, which would not be accurate.
he did. No, he did. He was in abject poverty, according to how the rest of us live, until he found this gay billionaire who has bankrolled his entire career and now got him in the room with Donald Trump. And oh yeah, he is the billionaire. Peter Thiel is married to a man. He's married to a man.
And that's significant in that. Well, the Republicans hate gay people, so yeah, I guess that would be significant that he's allowed to play a role in the. But then again, they always have.
They hate
Yeah,
poor gay
you'll
people.
always take the check. You'll always take the
Hate
check.
poor gay people.
Yes, they hate poor gay people.
So if you're a rich gay person, it's okay to be Republican. Apparently, this guy also, like, he's married to someone, but his boyfriend ended up passing away. I was like Googling him today, and he had a boyfriend outside of his marriage to another man, and he committed suicide. Who knows? I'm doing the show. I could be next. This is how these cats get down, though. What I'm saying is not because he's like, not because this has nothing to do with whether or not whether he, like, sleeps with men or not and everything. That's the point. Rob, you said the point. They don't like, apparently, they don't like gay people,
But they'll always take their money.
but they'll take their money and they'll listen to them and they'll move them forward. And it makes you think about, like, JD Vance in a different light. Like, what type of relationship does he have with this guy? Are Republicans going to ask this question about him? But, at the bottom line, at the end of the day, he presents as a closet white nationalist. What I found interesting
I don't see where the part about the closet is.
Mm,
I don't see him really hiding that fact.
well, I found it interesting that his Indian wife, they have said a couple of things about her. She's apparently not a Christian. I don't believe she's a Christian. So I guess that gives us an opportunity in the future to have a come to Jesus moment for his wife, or maybe not. A lot of these people don't want to come to Jesus. That's the whole reason why the woman ended up getting shot. She told the police officer when he was saying, put down the boiling pot, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I guess that was a little bit too much for that demon to hear.
Mm.
Apparently.
Right in the inner demon.
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. It's been a while since somebody has said that to me.
Yeah. And he said, what? She said, no, no, I was only joking. I was like, nah,
No.
you don't say that to no demon. You don't say that to a demon.
Was she in distress? Like, I'm not quite, I've seen the video a couple of times. Like, was she in some type of distress? Like, she did not seem, there isn't really, it's hard for me to pick up a coherent conversation. Not like that gives anybody an excuse to do what they did, but I'm just wondering about the context of it and everything. Like, clearly this guy's out of bounds and I'm not looking for an excuse for him. I'm just looking to sort of start, where was her level? Was her level of agitation something internal? Was there an external situation that happened that had her like
I
that?
believe the way they described it is that whenever those situations would occur for her, she would internalize at a certain point. She had called the police
Mm.
to help because she thought that someone had broken into the house. And when she was sitting there, before they showed that video, I don't know if you saw the whole thing. She was sitting on the couch and she
Okay, I
was
didn't see
talking
that
to
part of
him.
it now.
No, she was sitting on the couch and she was talking to him. And the police officer asked her, they were like, should I go turn off the pot of boiling water? Said, yeah, we don't need a fire,
Mm,
to mess with while we're trying to clear the house and everything. And so she walked over there at the behest of the police officer
mm.
and with his full knowledge of what she was doing. And there was no belligerence, no type of any type of thing that would let you think that there was going to be a problem. And
But
apparently
there
there
was.
was a problem. So that's the way that went down. So he's in jail. I wonder if
Yeah,
he's
probably a good place for him.
I wonder if he's gonna go free though. Like honestly, I really do wonder if he goes
Entirely
free.
possible.
I believe that if Donald Trump becomes president, that may be one of the first things that he does. Make sure that that jury is hung.
He
Or
can't get to that jury. It will be politically fraught for him to do anything directly in that case. Like, I know the man's not smart, but I think he's smart enough to know that he's got bigger fish to fry.
well, I just find it interesting that where everybody's so worried about these billionaires coming in and taking over the world. And JD Vance, essentially, I just gave you his whole history, and he's controlled by a billionaire, a billionaire, someone they really, really hate. Oh my God, hate that. And why
But
are you not,
they're all owned by somebody.
why are you not concerned?
Well, they're
Supposedly, if this is one of your big problems, see, everybody likes the idea of fighting the power until it's time to actually fight the power. And then what do? They look for they look for the little guy. All these things that they're doing, these false flags, these messages, these paramilitary ideas and everything that they're putting out there in the world. It's all just like it's all a bunch of dog whistles. It's like if you're in a park right now and you're a German Shepherd, you're chasing your tail. You're running around in a circle because everything you're hearing is a dog whistle. It's a dog whistle, just waiting. Because nobody really wants to fight the power. What they want to do is they want to beat up on the weakest kid in the class.
Right. Isn't that always the goal though? You know what I mean? Like if everybody just wants to be a part of the movement, right? So whatever the power structure happens to be in whatever situation, people just want to be a part of it, right? Regardless. And if you can get on board regardless to your station because you rolling with the crowd. You know what I mean? That's just kind of how America works. You know, it's that mob mentality. That's
And
what America is known for.
that's that Twitter cesspool
Right.
one that I'm referring to that has all these people coming out here saying that I'm black and I'm voting for whatever his name is, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Trump
And
Vance.
Trump fans, but are they really? You know, or are they just really? This is what I mean about tethers, because why would anybody come out and say that as black people we have never? I don't know. It's so
Because there
recent.
are a number of people out there on social media saying, hey, look, the Democratic Party just takes your vote for granted. They're not going to do anything for you. You had a black president. They didn't do anything for you. You had a black vice president. She hasn't done anything for the black, specifically for the black community. Why are you still voting for these people? And they're looking at the very top of the ticket, not understanding that, hey, here's a party that means all poor people harm. There's one party that truly and clearly means poor people harm. And it's truly and clearly about sending money up the chain, not down the chain. But they're just looking at the people as if that one person can change everything and do everything.
It's going to take it takes a consensus, and it takes a group effort. It can't just be one
Well,
person.
I mean,
or
Mitch
one
McConnell
party.
did a really good job of being a one-man obstructionist. That I've said it before, he was playing chess while everybody else was playing checkers. He looked dumb, but that old frog was politically very astute.
Well, he knew people's hearts. He knew what was in people's hearts, and he knows what's in the base.
Like, my
of
question,
America.
though, is how do you get away representing one of the biggest welfare states in terms of welfare recipients? Kentucky takes more money than it puts out.
Mhm.
And how can you sit there and talk all that shit about, what do they call them? Not, they use the word that's not really, all these entitlement programs and what have you. Like,
Mhm.
if you kill the entitlement programs, you're killing your own people.
Mhm.
Got away with it, though. They kept reelecting him.
Well, because he was always going to have enough money, because what he does for Kentucky pales by comparison for what he's done for the rest of the world. And when I say that, we were talking about it today. When I was talking about JD Vance's wife, she's Indian. And we had this color thing, and a lot of them feel like, the same way that Nikki Haley ended up going to a white school was her father made an argument that she was Caucasian. Not that she was white, but that she was Caucasian.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking that JD Vance's wife is probably somewhere cut from around that tree somewhere. But I can't say it for sure, but this is what I'm guessing. And when you look at McConnell, his wife is Elaine Chao, and her father was a famous man himself who was known as the illegal shipping criminal of Hong Kong. He was basically like, he was the man.
Mhm.
He was the man when it came to anything illegal. And his daughter married Mitch McConnell. Bought and sold. He didn't have to do anything for Kentucky.
Well,
He,
in theory, he should have to do something for the people of Kentucky to continue putting his behind back in the seat.
yeah, but those people are uneducated. Those people are the model for what they would like the rest of the country to be. Undereducated, underserved, and misunderstood. Lacking understanding of everything, because they vote against their interest every year. And who knows if that's going to continue.
The
Right,
sheeple
you
of
were going to say
Kentucky.
something?
No, just thinking it's the sheeple, the 85s. They are
85
what they are.
85 is going to 85. Always coming to that. End of the show. Well, I really wanted to. I don't even think it makes sense
So,
to really.
John, like, you're back now, right? Like, you're full, like, you can
Oh,
do
yeah.
everything now. Like, you're a
Yeah.
full participant in the society.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm back 100%. I went to, like I said earlier today, I ended up going down to Brooklyn today.
Mhm.
Um, Managing things differently. My health is getting better.
Mm.
I'm able to find out exactly where I am at all times. I got that nice device. My numbers are very
Yeah.
feeling strong.
So
Um,
now, I know you gotta check it, you gotta check your numbers before meals. You have to check that before you eat pussy too, or
Look, I should. I should. I should. I really should.
you really should.
I really should. Thank you, Rob. I'm gonna do that.
You're
I'm gonna phone by me as soon as
and,
I
you
leave.
know, and that
Make
won't
sure.
make her feel that she's fucking an old man either. No way.
Listen, listen, bro. This is America. This is what we do. We bone. We bone.
We bone and
America.
we take insulin. That might be the 2 most American things you can do.
Yeah, it really is. But I'm getting done with the. I'm actually like doing really well with the insulin, and I'm hoping to really work my way off of.
Yeah.
Um, I'm using diet and exercise, and this really great doctor sent me a program of exercise that I'm really just getting into starting. I was planning on starting today, but of course I got the late call in the morning. Had to jet out to the city real quick. But first thing in the morning, and it involves eating and squats as well as like riding. And I've been doing you see my Instagram lives. I've been doing my
Mhm.
riding my bike and everything and keeping everybody posted. Try to give the old people some motivation. You know what I'm saying? Just because we old doesn't mean that we're out. And, whenever you come that close to dying, you have to, you have to, I can either sit back and I can wait it happen, or I could be proactive. And really
Yeah.
nothing happened to me.
I was gonna say, I know a lot of people who are just sitting back and waiting for it to happen.
Right.
Yeah,
I know people who've had their chest cracked open 3 times, folks who have stents put in, and they just go back to eating the same way that they were eating beforehand.
that's not me and everything. That's not me. I have to, if anything, I'm going back to the way that I used to live, which was um more proactive as in training and weight training and riding the bike and things of that nature. I'm back to like doing like an hour and a half of exercise at least every other day.
That's why I eat the way that I do, because I am not going to do an hour and a half, 2 hours of exercise every damn day.
Well, it's
I
pretty
can't
easy.
I can't make that trade.
Yeah, well, it's pretty easy for me as long as I have my phone near, because the hour is really basically riding the bike, and a
Mm.
half is just like doing pyramiding, and that doesn't really take a half. It takes closer to like 20 minutes. So I just rounded off to an hour and a half.
Mhm.
But it's really better for me. It's better for me physically. I feel a lot better. My blood sugar is always much better. Today I was out and I was late with my meals, and I was between 90 and 100 all day long and everything. So I'm on the road to recovery. And unlike some people who've been in that same situation, I realize that they've had strokes and heart attacks, and that usually is what follows it up. So I've been blessed, and I've been blessed with really good doctors, and the help of one in particular with directing other doctors. And I know my care experience isn't the same as most people. It's just really luck based upon relationships. And but I wish everybody could get, and this doctor really does wish that everybody could and feels like they should get care in that manner. But that's another conversation. Actually, Gina's coming in on the 13th, and we're gonna have a conversation. It's gonna be mostly a health-based conversation, no matter what's happening in politics. I
Yeah.
just wanted to get this one off of my chest because
Well, that brother's made a remarkable, turnaround in his own
Yeah.
personal health.
Yeah, for sure.
oh yeah, big
And
shout out to Gene
that'll
Hopkins.
be Gene's birthday. That'll
What's
be
His
that?
Gene's
birthday
birthday
show.
too.
Yeah, it's his birthday. We're doing today. We're recording today. I'm gonna be doing Thursdays and Tuesdays. Doing a little bit more recording, and you know, I'm alive. So what can I say? My
I
what?
appreciate that.
That sounds like a good reason to have a bong hit.
Yes.
My man's alive. We're gonna do a bong hit. We gotta do a bong hit for that.
Do one for me.
I
Point
was
in
gonna take the
trouble.
night off, but now for you, homie.
Episode whatever. I think it's probably only 5 because of the weird scheduling this season, but we're back. And we'll be back on the charts. And we'll catch you guys on maybe Tuesday, maybe Thursday. I'll probably be on both days. I don't know what you guys' schedules are like. And, that's what's up. Everybody, peace.
Peace.
Peace.